Hi, friends. Watching the trees blowing in the breeze. At least they won't freeze, unlike me. A life of ease is lived by the trees. They blow in the breeze, they don't bend at the knees. They stay rooted in the ground as they're blown all around. And in the wind, as the wind rushes through them, it creates such a beautiful sound. Is there anybody going to listen to my story? All about the girl who came to stay. She's the kind of girl you want so much it makes you sorry, but still you won't regret a single day. Okay, well, let's start with some cards. The universe has your back is the one that's standing out to me right now. You know, this deck actually doesn't have a book. It's just the cards. All right, what's the message? What is the message for this reading right now? I choose love no matter what. Even if you are if you're in a position that makes you unhappy, if you're in a position that makes you uncomfortable, if you are in a position that makes you mistrusting, if you are in a position that makes you think low of yourself, feel your heart. Take a big breath and feel your heart expand as big as it can. And it's so full of love. And then you breathe out love everywhere around you. And now there's more love in the world around you. Okay? Choose love no matter what. I watched the second half of the movie Cleopatra last night, which is like a over 4 hour long movie. So makes sense why I only saw the second half last night, the first half a while back. And there's a point that's made in that movie about making love your master and what the almost, you know, the consequences of that, the consequences of making love your master rather than, you know, being the master of your own life. When that love encompasses the whole, when you choose love of the whole planet, the whole picture, the whole universe, the whole, every single facet of the storyline, whether it's good or bad, when you choose love for all of that, it's not your master. Love does not control you. Love becomes the wave that you ride to get yourself into that next place that you're meant to be. But that love has to encompass the whole. It can't be love of another in place of self-love, you know? It can't be because you don't love yourself enough, and so you are projecting that love that you'd like to feel inside of yourself onto another and hoping to receive it from them. No, it's about knowing that you are love, knowing that everything is love. Even the things that we don't like have a place in the bigger picture. I choose love no matter what. Love is the light that brightens our life. And rainbows. I feel like rainbows are glimpses into the other side. You know, could you fathom the entire world, the entire universe being made out of like rainbows type of light, you know? Like if that's what we saw, like that, I think it's out there. I think it's here. I think it's always in existence, and we just are only able to catch glimpses of it as the things in this physical world like line up, so that we can get that little glimpse beyond the veil. I understand there's like science behind it, but still, like, science without religion is so intellectualized that you don't even, you need both. There needs to be balance. You need both. Okay, another deck. Which one though? Which deck? I choose love no matter what. Okay, Angel Tarot, once again. Okay, so the song Girl by the Beatles is still playing in my head, and I'm almost hearing it like as a call to your spirit, you know, as a song to your spirit. Is there anybody going to listen to my story all about the spirit that came to stay? You know? That's the kind of self you want so much that it makes you sorry. It makes you so sorry to not choose your spirit. But once you do choose your spirit, still you won't regret a single day. That one on the bottom. The Hanged Man, Angel of Prophecy. The Hanged Man is where you sit to connect to your spirit. It's where you take that moment of pause. You feel like you're stuck, but what you're stuck to is a tree with very, very, very deep roots. What you were stuck to is a tree that is so full of wisdom, so far beyond anything that you can comprehend with your mind. You know? Connect to that tree, and you get to gain so much wisdom from it. There's such an enlightenment that comes from this. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Interesting too, okay. There's little like gold orbs hanging all from around the tree. And then look at the middle of this. The universe has your back deck. You know, with the gold orb. There is so much gold to be found right where you are. And if you can't see the gold and the fortune that is right there in front of you, then you need to open up your eyes to it. You need to awaken to it. Because it's right there. The gold is in the lessons to be learned. The gold is in choosing yourself, choosing your authentic self. The gold is in choosing an aligned path for you, where you'll pick up even more gold orbs along the way. And then with this butterfly or moth that's right here, it's just reminding me again, like, go into that chrysalis, go into that cocoon. You know, you spent all of this time before on the ground doing the work. And now it's time to pause, connect yourself to your roots, gain the wisdom of everything that you've learned from being low and walking on the ground this whole time, you know, from keeping yourself down, from keeping yourself low. All of those lessons and everything that you've learned from that experience, you are going to integrate now while you are wrapped in this chrysalis. Then there's a full alchemization, a full transmutation that goes on right here, right? Because that caterpillar completely dissolves into goo. But all of the lessons from being a caterpillar are then transformed and embodied to become the foundation that the butterfly is built on. So that butterfly can see things from a higher perspective and can fly around and make loving decisions from an awakened place, and probably speak from a prophetic place. Also, like, when you start to choose love no matter what, watch yourself awaken. Watch the synchronicities in your life just completely take an upswing. Upswing, as I'm seeing something outside the window swing. What? What's up, pretty? And the Page of Swords. As you are here, right? The Page of Swords to me is, it says gossip on this card. I don't read that as gossip. The Page of Swords is the, I mean, pages are messengers, right? But swords are thoughts. And so this is like, think about what you speak for once, right? He's got his mouth covered. So let's think about the words that you're saying. Make sure that you're saying your words from a place of love. But also an entirely new form of thoughts are going to come from having spent the time surrendering to this tree that we're hanging from. And it's up to us to silence ourselves enough to receive those messages, to not try and explain the changes that we're going through until we've gone through them, right? And that's not to say that you can't talk about them. Sometimes we need to talk about them to process them, but sometimes it is important to talk less and feel more. Oh, what are you doing sliding down? Pretty. Cat. You're such a cat. I love. I love you so much. Pretty princess. My Daisy's a pretty princess. Oh yes, she's pretty Daisy. 'cause she's my pretty little lady. Love, 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 love. So yeah, just to take those new thoughts moving forward, again, from a place of love, but also from a place of the wisdom that we've gained from the place that we've been in this whole time. I'm going to do one more from the Work Your Light deck, and that'll be that. Keep it short this time. I just did a really long, kind of too long reading about spirit animals. What's on the top here? Get grounded. Connect with nature. Get grounded. Stay rooted in that tree that you're on. Get grounded. And maybe after, hanging from this tree and collecting all of the wisdom from this tree, once we get off of this tree, it's going to be important not to run away so fast, right? Just because you are no longer bound to that place, bound to that tree, doesn't mean that you have to run away from it, right? Remember all the fruit that's there to pick from, okay? These golden orbs, these golden fruit, these gifts are still going to be there for you to pick from. And you'll have a greater understanding and awareness of how to pick from them. And you'll have the wings so that you can fly up there and pick from them instead of being stuck on the ground waiting for them to fall to you. So get grounded, maybe like the Buddha, and just sit underneath that tree and appreciate the tree for the gifts and the knowledge and the wisdom that you've been able to gain from it this whole time. You might be waiting to get unbound from this tree so that you can just charge off in the next direction, but we've got a page here, not a knight, okay? It's not time to charge. It's time to sit, to ground, and to receive those messages. Let that wisdom flow through from a place of love. I choose love no matter what. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you. Have a great day.